Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Titan Esports Summer League Immortal Division. This time we've got Summit Esports against, I can't remember the other name. Line? True Minded Gaming Evokers. Right, and we're in this now. I'm not a Valve game, joined here by Crims. And Crims, we're already in the thick of picks and bans here. Tell me what you think.
Well, I still think a lot of the OP champions on the patch have been left through, but really does depend if they're willing to play them. Of course, something like the Rise TF, we've seen just start to soar in priority here. Ari and the Pantheon, those are good bans. Ivern's always a smart ban as well. So far with the draft, I think we're going to end up with some interesting mid lane picks.
Right now, I always see these drafts start out in most divisions. They like to pick up their ADC. Like in the first rounds, Varus I see open, and that's generally a pick I see up a lot. And do you expect it just to be, you mentioned mid lane, right? What picks in particular are you looking for them to go for as the Varus is picked up?
Ooh, yeah, Varus picked does like diminish Azir a little bit in terms of the draft. I think Varus does well into that champion. But something like the Rise, TF, these are really strong mid lane picks. They're going to pick the Misfortune counter into the Varus. It can work, especially if you want to pair it up with something like a Leona, but it could be a bit risky because the counter pick in lane, like Emilio, is going to be really deadly.
Right, now we've got the Jarvan that's going to be paired with the Misfortune. We could see the Leona come in with it, but we'll see what Summit is going to pair off with their Varus. I know the Varus is something that it plays like the long-range artillery. Trundle is what they're going to pair with it. That's definitely not an artillery pick.
No. Trundle is definitely not an artillery pick. And just chase you down and chomp you to bits. But with the Braum coming in, that's a decent counter into the MF, of course. It blocks a lot of that ultimate with the shield. So hopefully that's what we're going to expect. Meanwhile, Trundle is going to be able to kind of duel the Jarvan very well. But in terms of a team fight, right now, True Minded Gaming, I think they're setting up a better team fight comp overall, especially with their Khan coming in.
Yeah, the Rakan does have a level of engage paired with the Jarvan as well to get that cage down, those rocks, build them up and trap them in so we get all that damage in. Now we see some mid lane and some top lane bans going their way. Looks like we have jungle and bot lane picked for both sides. And now that we see these bans coming through, what are you expecting to come out first on the side of TMG?
Well, it's hard to predict. I think something like Ambessa would be really good, especially with Renekton and the Shen ban. So it's kind of looking like that's going to be the pick. But honestly, they could also just snap up something like an Azir into the Trundle. I know it's not the best in the Varus, but it's pretty good. Annie, they're going to go with more engage. That's totally fine as well.
Annie has been on the rise recently, and as somebody who's more, outside looking into it, I'm not in the top end of League of Legends here. What exactly the Annie provides that has really brought her up to the top end?
It's just unmitigated engage. Right? It's just so difficult to beat a champion like that in the engage department, and so we'll have to see what else they're going to pair it with.
Looks like they go with Aurora and Scion to finish out the drafts on Summit. We'll see what TM is going to do.
Bit of dive, strong front line. The set coming in is the set counter. So people do like this in terms of the 1v1 on the dueling. You get push into set with set on the side lane, and that health pool of Scion becomes a weapon, a nuclear missile known as the set ultimate. And so that is the idea with the set pick. Not the best overall, in my opinion, but certainly is an answer.
So we see these here. We talked about the junglers at the start of the draft. We alluded to this. If you're the jungler on either side here, where are you looking to play?
I think playing around the Varus is pretty good. Usually for Scion, you don't want to play towards that top side. Kind of just let them chill, scale up into the game. Set could be an answer for the side of True Minded Gaming. Basically, they're going to play opposite sides here. You're not too worried about the Braum. Just let your Rakan scale and hold strong against the Varus.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You keep the Varus alive, let him farm up, and then let him get to that, late game sort of artillery style that he plays back, and hopefully doesn't get hit by the nuclear bomb that is his Scion. You mentioned the set and the Scion in particular, this very high health pool, and the countermeasure to that, obviously, Scions. I know they can, do a bit of split pushing, but are you looking, as we get into game, are you looking to see the Scion go towards more that, splitting the map route, or do you want him to be more involved in these team fights and just not as concerned about that possible, blowing up his team accidentally?
Yeah, no, it's really tough to win the set. So, especially if you're playing a tank, the whole point of tank is getting the tank to the team fight. So, Scion's main job is going to be that, and really strong front line, lots of zoning potential, lots of health to try to chunk through, and it's just way better in the team fight, especially with something like a Trundle, Aurora Varus for your damage. That is going to be play enough to win a team fight.
As we now go into game, we'll see how these team fights will pan out as we get into this game. This is I'm very excited to see this Annie, right? It is a pick I've heard about a lot, but I've not seen it yet. So I'm very excited to see exactly what it can do. You mentioned this engage, this unmitigatable engage. And I assume that involves Tibbers just appearing, right?
Yeah, it's just going to be the sudden appearance of a teddy bear. And that engage does require a flash. It does come with a cost. And so it has such an instantaneous ability to do AoE damage, which is why people gravitate towards this pick. So if she ever flashes on the Aurora and the Varus, I mean, expect True Minded Gaming to pick up a win in these team fights.
It's that opportunity as well with the Jarvan and the Rakan could open that window for her, I feel at least. But I did reference the jungle. You said you want to ignore the Scion and you're looking more towards, this bot side or mid, right? I'm curious to see, are you looking towards this Jarvan to maybe try to set up for this Annie, get on top of this Aurora, get on top of somebody to make these rotations, and then just fight through that and get this Annie fed so she can have even more of those opportunities? Or are you just looking, she's the setup gal. You set up, and then we get the MF fed.
I think for True Minded Gaming, you really don't want to fight early. The enemy team has better skirmishing tools overall, especially with something with the Trundle and the Braum, something you want to avoid, and you really want to show up at like a good setup. If you're on the objective first with a MF and an Annie, that's a really good position to be in, and the J4 kind of seals the deal in terms of the team fights. So looking for True Minded Gaming to kind of play slow. Maybe they could get an advantage onto Aurora, but she is such a safe champion, especially in the mid lane, that it's going to be a bit tough.
So you want to see him farm up a bit before we get aggressive, but it looks like bot lane, we're trying to get a bit aggressive here, getting some poke onto the Braum, but falling about half health before they slip away right now. This Misfortune and Rakan bot lane here. I know the Braum and the Varus is mainly just keep Varus alive sort of situation, right? But the Rakan MF, this is like how it's supposed to go? It's just the aggressive lane, or is it more so just how the lane is because of what they're against?
It's just going to be for the first few levels. The Braum is just not very good with getting prio, especially versus Rakan, who's a range champion. But in terms of aggression, level 3, it should really turn around the other way. And level 6 is going to be huge in the favor of the Varus as
dangerous in the mid lane.
Very bad trade.
Oh, that is danger right there. And we talked about not fighting early. Looks like we didn't get the message on Floops right there. First blood going to the pockets of the Aurora right now. Even bot lane tried to rotate over.
Might. Okay, so TP's going to come in. Yeah, maybe could pick up the wave, but not really going to be a factor there. As definitely not good to see your Annie going down first blood to the Aurora as your counter pick. The champion high burst damage is really good in the mid lane. Meanwhile, top side here.
we talked about the Scion not having a good time into this set, and looks like he's not having a good time now that J4 is here. The Flash Forced means that he's going to have to play it super safe now. And the wave's not in the best position for him either. So this is just a recall and a kind of a sigh.
Yes, I'm losing a Flash. Gonna have to play very safe versus Sir Raven up on the top side versus the set there. And maybe it'll be a factor when... Yeah, the lane swap coming out. Looks like they're going to be going for an early grubs. So that means that they really want to prevent Set from getting the grubs on the side of True Minded Gaming. So I like this. This is a bit early, though, to be honest. Maybe like next wave. But it looks like it's going to be matched on the other side. Oh,
yeah, I do. It does seem like Rakan is making his way up, but not MF. MF is content to stay on the bot side. It might just be because of the fact that this matchup isn't too great for the Scion, and it's a bit safer for the Braum and the Varus.
Rakan and J4.
They're coming in now. Little gank comes in. The exhaust is burned, but Varus gets flashed on and gets put up into the sky. Knocked airborne. Can he get put down, though? Braum trying to protect his boy. We have Trundle here. The speed up is good, and Varus lives at 1 HP. We're looking to continue the fight, though. The stun comes down, and now we're on the way out. Tons of damage going into TMG, but not enough just yet. Looks like we're content with what we got now. Walking away.
Absolute criminal. The Varus gets away in that situation. That should have been dead to rights a kill. They just couldn't put it together. And yeah, they're definitely going to be feeling a bit sour after that one. Meanwhile, bot side, Scion picking up lots of free EXP.
Look at this here. Look at this here. Possible aggression. There is a steal away, but his Trundle's looking for more. He's looking for Jim. He wants some Jim. Send him looking for more. Aurora hops over and pops him down. Me. I'm getting more kills right there.
That was just the tip of that Q, just getting the double hit off of that as well on the recall. And yeah, man, that is just perfect level 6 timer as well. Because you can see here, Floops is not level 6, so just unable to match in the mid lane so far. Now going to be able to hit level 6. This is where we can start to see True Minded Gaming being able to make more plays on the map. Once everyone's level 6, they can start to hit their wombo combo and have more effectiveness.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting now that Annie's level 6 to see a bit more, you know, a willingness to fight. Because obviously the Aurora starting off the game with first blood is not great. And now her getting another kill is also not great. But seems like Dragon is what they're looking for, and that's pretty great if you're TMG. The set being shoved under is not something they mind while they get this Dragon in their pocket. Looks like Rakan is on the zone down there as well, so that's as good as secured. Good damage going to the set, though. I don't know if he's at risk of dying at all, though.
So this swap does help out their Scion. Gets them out of that set situation here without the flash, so...
Whoa!
Oh, okay. All right.
Neither of us had any idea that that guy was just gonna pop. By the like, that would have been was insane.
MMA looking for more. Sir Raven getting stunned up yet again. Yep, this is just a beatdown in the top lane. Gonna have to back. Does have the TP, but it's just gonna be more of the same if they stick around.
Ooh. I thought that maybe he would go for that, but you know, flashing under the tower there would be a bit ambitious.
Oh my gosh, the back.
It looks like they're aggressing though. Okay.
Again.
It's dangerous.
Okay,
possibly.
Dodging.
It looks like you're slamming him back down though. We're looking for the fight. We don't get the shield up in time, and we fall down. Sir Raven biting off a bit too much.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you
play bot side
away from your turret?
No, I thought that maybe Rakan was gonna go under. No, he didn't look like he wanted to.
Well, J4's on their way, so if this is what they're looking for. And there's the trade from the Annie with the ultimate. Super hard for Aurora to beat that with that damage. J4 on the bot side looking for a dive, but this is a Scion, full HP. I'm not sure about this.
It's a little dangerous right now. The exhaust is burned. It looks like they're just content with plates for now. And Scion's only going to let them get one.
Yeah, they didn't feel very confident. They could go for like a 2 dives. They could go for 1 dive, get everything out of the way, make sure like Scion is chunked properly, and then go for the redive. But that's a lot of work just to kill this Scion, and Scion's probably going to still pick up the wave anyway. Looks like an invade is the safer play.
Yeah, I think this invade is just much safer, and they're able to just grab it. And Braum might try, but I don't think he'll get anything out of it. Looks like Braum is walking up into 3, and it might be a pick now. Some decent damage.
They don't bluff. They don't know where Trundle is right now.
Yeah, they don't.
Idea.
It's back and forth. Trundle now getting the grubs. They do know where he is, but it's a bit too late.
So they're going to be able to bluff their way out of that one. And right now, I mean, Summit, this is a 4-0 right now. And they're about cresting a 2K gold lead as well. It's a little bit more than that, but good enough. And this is a great start. They don't have one objective in the Dragon, but everywhere else, it's looking fantastic.
I mean, right now, you've got this big lead on Aurora. Looks like they're trying to rectify that now. You see this Rakan trying to run in on her. Jarvan is trying to cut her off from top side, but they're not going to be able to catch up to her. She's just too quick. Just too safe, like you said.
Yep, still had Flash, still had the ultimate. Unlikely to be a kill, but that's, you know, you got to slowly chip away at defensive abilities. Burn the Flash, burn the ultimate, then go for the kill. Very unlikely to be able to kill Aurora in one go, but looks like attempting here.
It looks like it's an attempt right now. Tibbers comes in, and Tibbers is on the chase, not able to take down Aurora, and we're rifting Annie up into the sky. We're trying
nice
to take her down, but it's great peel from the boys. Floops puts down Trundle. We melt him away as the boys look to run away.
That was perfect layering CC, double AoE knockup as well. Floop's completely safe there, and they get the flash out of Morn as well.
They got his flesh too. I mean,
they got both. But yeah, that's a great play, great comeback from True Minded Gaming here onto the Annie as well. Exactly where they want it. Annie's very good at winning early game skirmishes once she has her full combo. So we'll see. I suspect next Dragon is going to be on the docket for both teams here. And if True Minded Gaming get this Dragon, it'll be kind of a great comeback for them in this game.
Wait, did Braum just teleport?
Yeah, Braum has Unsealed Spellbook, so...
Oh, okay. I was just like, wait a minute. I could have sworn I saw Exhaust there for a second. I'm like, there's no way I missed that before.
Wait, Braum has Ignite, Exhaust, Heal, and TP? What's going on?
Huh? Like, sometimes, listen, sometimes you're a bit too frazzled. And it's I mean, when we saw Annie pop before, neither of us expected it, and now I'm, like, off my game, right? Looks like...
Yeah.
It seems like we're off our game right now because we're back into... We were off our game, but now we're back into this sort of traditional top lane matchup. Set into the Scion, but more comfortable now. But the ultimate is burned anyway by the Scion. I think he thought J4 was on the way up.
Yeah, I don't know. Set definitely had a lot of the charge as we get a face check right here.
Oh, the pillar is great. Glacial Fissure, able to knock 2 up, but not able to get anything done with it. That pillar was great, but it didn't end up going to anything. J4 on bot side now. They're looking for an engage. They're looking for this Trundle, and the Troll's getting knocked up, locked down, and pop. Bullet time, baby. And you're locked down, put down.
Right. Yeah, a lot of things happened to Trundle right there. As it looks like this is great for them to pick up the Dragon. They're kind of taking their time. Floops has TP, so should be able to just make it back to the mid lane. And just clearing out all the vision. I mean, crossing their T's and dotting their I's here as they pick up the second Dragon of the game. And as I was saying, that's a great sign for them to come back in this game if they get the second Dragon, and it looks like that's going to be the case.
It does look like it's going to kind of go their way. It looks like Aurora was like pretending to try to contest, but it doesn't seem like they wanted to go for it. It's now this lead from the Summit is kind of closing. Because you see that these Drakes have gone into the pockets. Ooh, that is rough for Floops there. Looks like we're flopping on the side now because we're taking too much damage. This Aurora has put pain into us before. She does it again. Another time. Another kill. We're looking for it, though. Jim on the chase. We're not able to catch up, though. Aurora, too safe.
Floops missing both the ult and the cone. I clearly don't. I clearly remember all of Annie's abilities. But the Tibbers drop missing was huge. And Meme sees the weakness, goes for another kill there. And amazingly, there are 450 gold bounty on that Aurora.
She's worth a pretty penny right now. I mean, especially when you're getting... He's Meme is playing this game great, by the way. It's just, he's been playing it super safe. He's been dancing back and forth when he needs to. It's been good bait. A little bit of back and forth here. Is Sion actually going to reset? He does actually reset. They stood there to stop him from stopping his back. Oh,
hey,
what a true
that's what
teammate
support's
right
got to
there.
do. That's what a support should do. Got a friend. Just, get some help to back on time. Hitting those timers. Don't miss the waves. Very important here.
I mean, right now, we're kind of in this situation where the game is largely... though I said this lead was evened up, but now it's about 2K again. This lead is opened up again, and we're back to this sort of situation where, neutral state on the map, but this lead is still building. Looks like we're trying to build another lead though. Set on the threat right now. We'll see. Good damage going into him, but there's so much more damage. More than you, Sir Raven.
So that is going to be another kill going over to the side of Summit. As meanwhile, topside, they've kind of given up a lot of their tempo on getting the Rift Herald here. So we can see True Minded Gaming in full control. They didn't dive the Varus, which is the key factor here. Because if they dive the Varus, totally a way better play, in my opinion, for True Minded Gaming. But because they are not able to get the dive off, it's just a free win for Summit here. Meanwhile, they're going to get the sign on the bot turret, and in walks...
This is dangerous right now. Trundle gonna get cut in the cage and bullet time right there.
No
You're in the
escape.
wall and shot against the wall. And that is he's just put down right there. That's rough.
There's another pound of flash from Morn, as he did have the flash, decided not to use it. The CC there, also making it difficult. And this is True Minded Gaming picking up quite a bit of objectives here. Looks like Sion might be trying to shake it up with the back. Suspicious for a TP. Incoming team fight.
Yeah, it looks like they're back and forth dancing on this Herald right now. They're trying to catch this Varus, but they really can't catch him because of how
Varus
safe
is not
he's
linked,
playing
though.
it. Yeah,
it's hard
he
to team
isn't.
fight from blue side.
It's very difficult right now. Sion doesn't look like he's having a hard time at all. He's putting some pain in his set. Rift Herald secured, but it looks like your life is secured as well. Set goes down. Sir Raven, we'll see you later, but there's some good damage going to the gym. Meme picks up one. Meme's going to pick up another, but Varus picks up two himself. We're on the chase, but it doesn't seem like we're chasing much more. It's Aurora on the chase in mid, Trundle following through, but I don't think we're going to get this kill here. We're just content with this mid tower.
Where did the damage go? There was no damage coming out from True Minded there. Floops still has the ultimate as well, or still had the ultimate. I don't know where did all the damage just completely soaked up by the Scion, and I guess the Braum shield just coming in clutch. I didn't see it. If I had a replay, maybe we could figure it out, but yeah, no replay, and man, that is...
The replay's coming in now. Well, there was no replay, but now there is replay. So let's break it down for you here. Before this pick came in, obviously we got the pick on the Trundle beforehand. So bullet time was still down, I believe.
Yeah,
and the Cataclysm also may have still been down, but
yeah,
we'll see when this replay does officially come in. So we are waiting for that.
We're 20 seconds away from a dragon, though, so we're probably, at the time may have passed us by here, as it looks like we're going to have ourselves a contest. Both teams just running straight in the mid lane, and Sion's here to provide that very important zoning and control that people love this champion for. And it looks like True Minded Gaming, they're not going to be in a good setup here. So Summit, full control of the river right now.
It's a bit of posturing from both teams. J4 slowed down, but it looks like Rakan's by himself on the bot side. Little engage in, though. Knockup is good, but the J4's in. Bullet time, and that means you're going down. Aurora shut down by the Misfortune. But we pick up Rakan in return. Jim, dangerously low here. Dragon laying in some pain, and Sion finishes the pain. But it looks like Varus gets the kill credit for it. Double kill going to the Trundle, making a triple kill. No, double kill for his boy. And that's a full wipe for Summit.
And they pick up the dragon as well. And unfortunately for True Minded Gaming, they don't get soul point here. So Rakan comes in, but there's a lot of flashes committed just for the engage. And look at this, straight onto Crushing Rock. No peel. Everyone's just focused on diving. No one's helping the AD carry. That's where most of your team fight damage is. And as soon as MF drops, yeah, they get the Aurora, but there's just no one with enough damage to take down the rest of the members of Summit, and it's just cleanup crew after that point there. And while it may have looked like a great engage, it's just too many resources, no peel, lost your 80 carry, not going to win a team fight that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that engage was spectacular, but it just amounted to Crushing Rock getting crushed by like 3 dudes, and and then it was Bloops fell right after, and there was just too much damage going their way. And this Misfortune is really, like we talked about it in the draft, this Misfortune is your damage, right? Obviously the Annie's got some damage on her, right? But she's really there for the engage. This Misfortune is the damage.
Yeah, Annie, I think J4 can play the engage, but you're really looking for Annie to hit a nice flash ultimate to really set up a good team fight. And then everyone else is going to follow up. And Rakan is basically their best form of peel. And when Rakan is on engage duty, no one's protecting this MF. And that is a bit of an issue for the side of True Minded Gaming. Looks like they're going to use this Rift Rail. They're going to get a nice turret crash. Going to make up a little bit of this gold deficit. But to be honest, I mean, it's doing some work, but there's still a huge gap in this gold lead, about 5k.
Yeah, 5k right now, especially for this. Looks like we're driving again, though. J4 looking to get another bit more damage onto this tower, but Baron is being, looked at. It's not up for another 5 minutes. I believe Atacon is up, though, which is what they're looking at now.
Oh, yeah, this is a complete give of Atacon.
Yeah,
for sure.
it is.
But, I mean, they get 2 turrets. I mean, it's not the worst trade deal in League of Legends history. I've seen far worse.
Certainly could be worse. Atacon is going to be picked up here by Summit. You see now, it's just, it can't feel good, for to just give it up like that, right? Obviously, you got the 2 towers, so you're not too upset, but you can't be too happy about how the last 2 team fights you started them and they went horribly. How do you correct this? You mentioned the Rakan playing Peel. Annie's got to engage, or what's the solution?
Yeah, Annie's got engaged. They kind of have to refigure their mindset.
Speaking of engage,
well, this
here.
is a tanky sign. Not a lot of damage coming through.
The Misfortune's here, who is your damage. We'll see if we can put enough damage into the Scion. The wall is good from the Trundle.
That's
so
a pea
it's going to be
shooter
disengage.
right there. That's not 2 guns. That's just double pea shooters.
Listen,
for that
Plants
Scion.
versus Zombies, man. Pea shooters are effective.
Definitely needs an LDR soon if they want to do any form of DPS on this Scion.
You're right.
And, yeah, very tanky. 106, 300 gold lead, 2 armor items plus the steel-plated boots. So that is a lot of physical damage reduction. And no one built Black Cleaver. I am appalled that this J4 does not have Black Cleaver.
What does the Black Cleaver enable that you are so appalled that it does not?
Oh, it is armor reduction by 30%. It takes 30% of armor.
Oh.
So I feel like that'd be very helpful when you're trying to kill
that
someone.
sounds pretty good.
I'm not sure if you think the same way, but
that sounds pretty good. Somebody who's got, a lot of armor on, that sounds pretty good. 30% is a pretty high number. It doesn't seem like much, but that's a pretty high number. Looks like we're looking right now, and we're looking for this Rakan. Good damage in his way, but there is a knock-up. We'll see if he can return some damage. Knock-up by the J4. It's bullet time, but it's off the mark completely, and we're turning it around. The Glacial Fissure is there, but Jim will take down Morn, but Aurora is in on the backside looking for Crushing Rock. We're looking to crush him down, but is it enough damage? Set puts down some, but there's too much damage. Aurora, more kills to her pocket. The ace comes through from the Vars, who's walking away, limping away, but the team wipes.
And Mei just absolutely giving them the beat down here. So we have an ultimate. It's kind of a zoning ultimate, but a lot of damage is not being used to destroy this Trundle here. And he just survives for so long. Finally, Stun comes through, but it's just on one target. Mei on the side, absolutely eviscerating them with the ultimate. The passive coming through as well. Just single-handedly doing just all their health bars simultaneously. And then the rest of the team comes in. Nice finish. And it looks like Summit have decided, yeah, this game's ours.
Yeah, they're looking real good right now. Summit is got firm control of this game, and it is going to be a difficult mountain to climb, a difficult summon to kind of get over. But we're not giving up yet. If we are TMG, we are looking still to get active, get onto this dragon. Looks like now we are posturing. It's a bit of a dance back and forth between
They've
these
given
two
up
teams.
mid wave completely. Now Summit can just play super slow. Waves crashing onto the mid turret as well. They're not forced to start at all. They could actually have Mei push down mid lane to give more pressure onto TMG to make a bad play. Looks like they're doing it now. It's a bit late, but hey, it looks like they have all the time in the world. Engage coming through.
The cage comes down. Cataclysm's there. Mei is not there just yet until she shows up now. Between Worlds is where we're sending you because you're getting pop, locked, and put down. Tons of damage going into TMG. Triple kill going to Mei. Morn takes down one. Crushing Rock goes. Quadra kill going to the pockets of Mei. And we're caking this mid turrets.
Okay, even though they got absolutely blasted, that was probably the best look for True Minded in terms of their team fight. That's kind of how the comp wants to work. And you saw, that was a lot better. But unfortunately for them, they are fighting an uphill battle. 18 gold, 18k right now after the fight. But it was massive even before the start of it. No way to make up that, even with a great start to a team fight. Oh, they're going to back up. They're not going to go for the extended fight into the win here. But I mean, that is
They
just
still got a Nexus turret, which is
crazy.
massive. I mean,
Sorry, 8k gold. But still, I mean, just, yeah, they got the inhib. They're going to just roll back to the dragon, pick that up, reset, get the Baron, win the game is the plan, I'm assuming.
no, I'm happy this is fearless because we don't got to see Aurora again if we are on TMG. Because this Aurora, we were concerned about the Scion accidentally nuking his teammates. The Aurora is the nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
that has just been going off.
12-1-6.
Crazy.
I'm not a fan of this build, but
It's clearly working.
I think the Riftmaker is troll. But you know what? They're so fat they can build whatever they want.
Uh-oh. Looks like we're trying to build up a bit of a comeback here. We get an engage on the Scion, but do we have enough damage? This has been the problem before. Is it going to continue to be a problem? It looks like it will be.
Mei's here.
MF needs some peel, but this is some good damage back. Morn falls, but everybody pops. Vars and Mei put everybody down, and it looks like a double kill. More kills going to the slots. Mei, more. Give me more. I want my stat line to look better. Jim and Seth are the only two who are up right now. We can only buy time. Looks like Jim's gonna fall soon.
Okay, they could have went for the win. They go for the chase on J4, so I think that means they're just going to get the Baron instead. But, I mean, I'm pretty confident they're going to win another team fight for the victory here as soon as they get this Baron. And yeah, Mei doing such a good job providing that team fight damage as well. And Neto starting to become very effective in these team fights just for the execute alone. I mean, Mei just chunks all of their health bars to 20%, and then Nanto comes in with the execute and just knocks them all down in one go.
Right there, too. It was just... That fight looked like it started off... It was a bit wonky, but then we got enough damage. The Trundle was falling low. We got a good cage, that Cataclysm. And then Mei and Vars came in and killed everybody. It's just as simple as that. And, I mean... TMG, I'm happy that they're not, like, giving up, right? Because there was potential there, right? You see the Black Cleaver finally came through. Top lane. Active.
Oh, I'm not sure if this is enough.
Is it going to be enough? Can we take them down? No, she's just too safe. Slips away with that ultimate.
Yeah, very difficult. Very difficult. Meanwhile, bot side, though, I think that is 3 of Summit on the bot side. Just trying to push that in. Not going to be challenged. And with the broken inhib in the mid lane and Baron, should be a win for Summit here. Should be able to find a good fight and knock down that Nexus.
We'll see, though. We'll see. Because they still have to, not mess it up. It's a bit of a,
They could mess up and still win.
They could. I mean, they could mess it up. They could still win through that, but they could also mess it up and completely throw. Right? It's all the possibilities here, especially in this high division here, the Immortal division, right? It's entirely possible for a comeback to happen, but it looks like they're trying to just keep these minions out. Baron buff minions a little bit more difficult to kill. Good damage going into Raven. A lot of good damage.
It looks like they're playing really scared, to be honest. They could have Scion in where Morn is, or they could have it reversed. It doesn't really matter, but they're not really trying to siege. Mei Mei's pushing down the sideline turret, so they're just waiting for them to match Mei Mei. And it looks like they're just going to just hold this bot turret as long as possible instead.
It's that or they're waiting for them to engage, I feel. Because they can't... It's difficult because if you engage, then you're like, well, we got to kill somebody. Or we got to match Mei Mei, who's been soloing our entire team.
I think if they're gonna engage, just try to get Mei Mei. But it looks like they're finally gonna pull off here, and this is gonna be the second inhibitor falling. Just stroll right on through, and here's the engage for the last fight.
Glacial Fissure knocks up one, but it looks like Set's gonna spend more time in the air than he will on the ground in this fight. Raven, you know you're supposed to fly, but not that way. Into the ground he goes. Good damage going into TMG. Finally, Jim will fall. The stun comes through. Between Worlds is where we're sending you, and we're putting you down for another one. Guildborn picks up one for himself as the team looks as their Nexus falls down. Summit is going to shortly take game one as they chase down Annie. Zonia burned, and that's an ace right there. Absolutely massive game from this Aurora right now. This Varus 2, gigantic game. Summit take game one.
Yeah, and that was an absolute smashing victory for Summit there, as they are going to be picking up the first win. And I mean, so far, great gameplay coming out of Mei Mei, looking like an absolute stud. Nanto also did a great job there. And so looking towards maybe trying to take them out in the next draft, because they absolutely killed it in this first game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see Aurora's gone because of this fearless draft. It's that was brutal. Absolutely massacred the other team. Rough for TMG. But what won't be rough is that we got this reset, little break. Maybe grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. We're going to throw it to a quick break, and we'll meet you back here soon for the continuation of this set. Welcome back, everybody, to the Titan Esports 2025 Summer League Immortal Division. I'm not a Val Game, joined by Crims, and we just saw a match that the Summit was pretty dominant in. But TMG still had some fight back, and I still feel like they can come around in this. Crims, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that there is some good signs. The first good sign was they were able to get double dragons, and it really looked like Summit kind of dropped the ball in picking up the dragon objectives early, especially since they had such dominant map control throughout the game. They did swap really early at the top to basically help out their bot lane. That is part of the factor for why they lost those dragons, so I'm not completely saying that was terrible. But, second dragon came around, maybe could have put more priority on it. So there is maybe a way TMG can win through a scaling comp. But they're going to have to draft for that. I think the misfortune is kind of hit or miss. If anyone picks up tank champions against misfortune, you could see very easily, very quickly in the game, just does 0 damage. And so I think the misfortune was a bit of a miss in the draft. Thankfully, we won't have to see it again. That champion's going to be out for the rest of the game. So maybe if they pick, I think the anti-pick was good, but the lane phase wasn't that great. So a little bit of execution as well, understanding their draft. The first few team fights that they had, overforced, everyone's flashing in, no one's peeling for their AD carry. So they're just a little bit easier to execute comp, and I think they'll do a lot better.
Yeah, I do think that with these, change around in these picks, like we said, the Fearless draft now takes away those picks. Any pick that was played in this last game no longer allows them in these next few games. So we will, once we do get into draft, we will have to see them, change it up. And maybe we will get that, easier execution, like you're saying. And is there any, in particular that you're looking at in terms of, the Annie was obviously the engage, but are you looking for a more traditional mid laner, or are you looking, elsewhere for that change up?
I really think it's the MF that was the problem. Just no damage. Just it's kind of a champion that just kills squishies. And as you could see in that game, there was just no one to kill with the MF. So that's just mostly the pick that I'm not a fan of.
The MF was a bit lackluster. I do agree that there was points where she did a lot of damage, but there was also points where she just, kind of wasn't able to do that damage because there was just 2 tanky targets in front of her that just she couldn't get through. She couldn't shoot through. And we'll see, with the change up. Obviously, May was just destroying everybody. Do you think we see some more target bans to them, or do you think the change up of the bans is just not going to be there? You think it's going to be, that Kog'Maw, that Ivern?
You probably, so usually in Fearless, you kind of just see the same bans over and over again, until maybe a game 4, game 5. But this is not a best of 5, so we're probably going to just see the same bans throughout the whole thing.
Well, we will be going into picks and bans very, very soon here. It's going to be we'll see if that's, the case of the consistent picks and bans as we do now get into the bans.
It is called pick and ban, but it is technically bans first. So I understand the misnomer that you were facing there.
It's fumbling over your words right there. That's just all I was doing. It's a bit of a fumble right now.
I gave you an out. You didn't take it. That's on you.
I'm sorry. It's just sometimes you got to admit your mistakes. It's just you got to accept it, and you gotta grow and learn from it. But the bans, we're keeping them relatively the same.
Yeah. So we have the Ivern coming through. So Ari was banned previously. Volibear, very popular champion. So the first pick, Varus, is not going to be available anymore. So for me, something I prioritize is the Azir, the TF, the Rise. Pantheon, Pantheon's pretty good. There's the Xin, something like that. Obviously, the very obvious Varus pick is gone. I'm not a fan of anything like a Kai'Sa, but, some people like picking the Kai'Sa. We'll see what happens.
I mean, the Kai'Sa pick also opens itself up to something.
Okay, Corki, very standard.
I have a co-caster that Aussie is very, very against this first pick Corki. How do you feel about it?
Corki is a very safe champion. Not going to be a terrible pick, but not going to be a great pick either. So for a blind pick where you don't know what OP you want to grab, I think it's okay. It kind of is a waste if there are OPs on the board. So something like an Azir not being taken is a bit criminal. But we have here Azir Maokai. So Summit going for a straight front to back team comp already. Nocturne going to be matched here. Maybe an Orianna can be slapped on top of that, and that's going to be pretty good damage core for your team comp already if they do lock that in.
Looks like Aatrox is going to be what they lock in, though. It's a decent, brawler pick right there. The Nocturne also is a, chase down, sort of engage pick that it just allows it to kind of just go, right? Aatrox also just wants to go, but the Darius is, meant to match that. We talked about the top lane matchup last time. What about this time? How does this one go?
Yeah, this is all Darius. Yeah, this one sucks for Aatrox.
Yep.
Yeah, this one's not fun. Your Q range is like barely, like if you're super lucky, you can outrange the pull, but most of the time the Darius is going to be able to match pull you, and then if there's any long lanes, Darius just runs you down and just executes you on the spot. So it is pretty tough to play this matchup. For the first few levels in lane phase, might be able to get away with it. Nocturne is not the best CC for Darius, but certainly can apply pressure in the laning phase. So overall, most Darius players don't want to pick too early because what ends up happening is there's going to be a lot of CC, and Darius hates playing into a lot of CC. As we get a Jax, decent pick here. Nothing too crazy, can be effective.
You mentioned the Darius doesn't like CC. The Orianna is something that is still up, and that Orianna has a little bit of CC with her as well. And the Alistar has a good bit of CC with him as well. He could literally just push the Darius somewhere else, and that's pretty good. And the Orianna is what they lock in. And I wonder what Summit is going to finish out their draft with. And it looks like they do need an ADC, which is weird because usually we see it picked up very, very early. But we'll have to see what they end up picking up here. Oh!
I don't know what's going on.
It's Azir. Is this Azir ADC?
No, Azir ADC is not good. No,
but who else is going there?
Probably Irelia, if I had to guess.
It's Azir bot.
It's Azir ADC. This is not good. I
tell
saw
me
a
about
Reddit
this.
post on this
What
earlier
is...
today. I saw a Reddit post earlier today about this exact concept, and I will strike it down with a vengeance. Azir does not want to be in the bot lane for a couple reasons. Mainly, number one, you do not get enough levels as bot lane Azir. Azir needs to be in a solo lane. Level scaling is huge for this champion, and you just cut that in half. Number two, they're going with the Maokai support. This is just full AP damage in the bot lane. So I mean, look, they're going to be fine down there, I guess, versus an Alistar, but I mean, Azir really needs levels. They're going to get pushed in the whole time, I imagine, except for, when Alistar's below level 3 because he's not a champion until 3 levels. So I'm fully expecting this to fail, and I'm hoping for it to be just a terrible pick.
I'm hoping for it to crash and burn.
Yeah.
This is a spicy pick for sure, as we do look to get into game very, very soon. This Azir in the bot lane is something I've never seen and something you're not looking forward to seeing, as it's it's just this Azir you normally provide, that big damage, that the classic Shurima shuffle sort of situation. And in the bot lane, what do you said the leveling, but let's look at this from the the positive side, right? What is this going to provide that another ADC wouldn't?
Well, Azir does have a decent amount of safety with his really long dash. Works better in the mid lane, but can work in the bot lane. There's a lot of time being, like, a lot of safety having a support. So spending time around the Maokai could provide a lot of safety for the Azir. And the ultimate will pretty much peel off any threats in the late phase early. But other than that, Corki's going to do more damage. I'm expecting Corki to actually have more push as well. And then as soon as Alistar's level 3, there's going to be really scary engages onto this Azir, and I don't think it's good.
I mean, we'll have to see how well it is put, how well it's played. Because last time this Varus was able to, play that artillery style, able to, kind of coast and just get all that damage done, do what, the Varus wants to do. But this Azir is definitely a different play style that, it's not, it's unique. It's certainly unique. But
I would take it top lane over bot lane.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Even into Aatrox?
Have you heard of Strumpest before?
No.
He is a very famous mage-only top player. He participated in the NACL OQ. Got very far just playing stuff like Azir, Ryze, Cassio in the top lane. So I would take that over this.
Interesting. Definitely interesting. But, well, again, we're going to have to see how that goes. But let's talk about a different, lane for now. And, let's talk about a not lane, the jungle, right? If you're this Nocturne or you're this Jax, where are you looking to make plays?
Probably top lane for Morn to be the easiest lane to play around. Yeah, already pathing up there. So that makes a lot of sense. Pathing ball lane a bit sketchy, as Mei get a very strong trade in the mid lane. And it looks like Sir Raven, I mean, if Raven could hold the wave here, that would be very good for the Aatrox. Floops is taking some pretty bad trades in the mid lane, but honestly, I mean, Ori can really do a lot of damage in the mid lane as well. So I think it's just going to be a bot lane. Ooh,
Alistair's already in the mid lane.
That's a really early roam up. Gonna miss a lot of CS or a lot of EXP. Wave's kind of bouncing back as well.
It's to relieve pressure, though. It's because this Orianna the Orianna is just getting shoved into tower. So I understand what the thought process was, but like you said, you're gonna lose a ton of XP for it. You're gonna lose a lot, and now he's making his way back down, and it's
the wave's bouncing, so didn't end up being a problem.
Good. It's good now because we're gonna get to this more equal state, and this Orianna Irelia lane. I know the classic, sort of mage versus assassin-esque matchup. How does this usually go?
So, Irelia does heavily win this matchup, but it is kind of, I think the gap in the matchup gets better for Orianna the higher level it is. I think it gets worse the more the mid laners are skilled, because Orianna is able to pressure a lot with the range difference top lane.
A little bit of aggression here. Morn trying to put some damage into Sir Raven, but not enough.
Does get the wave in, importantly. That's the most important part about that. The wave goes in, so that means it will bounce. Meanwhile, bot side here, a bit of a freeze. Dangerous scenario for the Azir lane here.
Bit of a dance right now, though, in the mid lane. It looks like we're trying to dance with death right now. Me. We're looking to put him down. Jim gets the flash in, but the flash in to return. Not enough damage to put him down. He'll barely live. Insane.
Didn't think about throwing out the second auto. The Q was also late, but you can see there the Orianna can get the upper hand. And as a Nocturne, you really don't want to be ganking. You kind of just want to get to level 6 ASAP here, top lane. Guildborn. I'd be looking for the all-in.
Yeah, they're looking to go on this right now. Aatrox does not get the pull in onto Darius because he flashes out. A dive in the mid lane, though. Floops will flop down, but Mei's going to fall to the tower. It's a trade 1-for-1, but Mei gets that solo kill.
That is going to be a trade 1-for-1. Slight advantage because of the wave coming in, as well as the first blood. Sir Raven, though. Hold up. Hold on a minute.
That's a tower shot. That's another tower shot. A lot of damage. The bleed is enough. Guildborn puts down Sir Raven.
Yeah, kind of just wasn't expecting that one at all. Could have flashed. Just ends up getting yoinked. And that would be their final breath for that top lane there. So overall, I mean, it's not a huge advantage for the side of Summit, but they still have one nonetheless. 900 gold. I imagine top lane and mid lane, both the solo lanes, the lanes they need to win, are getting better and better.
Looks like the Irelia ult comes down, and then you're speaking of it getting better and better. Mid lane getting better and better. Mei getting one for himself, one for his Jax. That's looking real good.
Question is, where does the Nocturne ult? It's got to be bot lane. I think it has to be bot lane, which does make it very predictable. So So we'll see if Summit have the same read as me. And we'll see if Jim does go for a bot lane ultimate on level 6. Probably the only lane that they would feel comfortable fighting 3v3 right now. Because the other solo lanes, I mean, look at the lead that is accruing for the side of Summit. It is looking really brutal already.
It's right now. You've got this. Well, Summit was able to do this last time too, wasn't it? It was just a lot of. I don't know if it's just more effective farming. It was a lot of kills last time too, but this time it's only 2 more kills. But now it's just we're ahead and we're gonna stay ahead. It's 2K and this lead was about the same at the same point in the game. Looks like in the mid lane we're looking to get aggressive again. You see this Maokai's positioning. It looks like Jax is looking to get some too. It's in the mid lane. We're rooting her down. We're locking her down. We're popping her down. And there goes Floops.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is... They're really playing for their mid laner here on the side of Summit. They know how their bread is buttered. And they're playing through Mei Mei. Doing an excellent job so far. And it looks like they are going to be backing in the mid lane. So this is probably Dragon going over to True Minded Gaming yet again. Oh, wait a minute. The backs are stopped. MMA wants the action.
It's a bit of a dance now. They're posturing, but it looks like the Azir is the target now. Alistar goes in, looking to stun him out, but there isn't anybody there to follow up. It's,
Jim's not level 6.
A bit of a reset. Yeah, he's
Jim's
not.
not level 6. That's huge.
It's that's real bad right now, too, especially when they were looking to go for Dragon.
Yeah, this lead was better than last game. This lead is actually fairly significant in this game here. Already 8 minutes in. So it looks like they're not even able to get Dragon, which is kind of the big deal. Can't even return a play on the map.
No, they won't be able to just yet. But I'm sure they're going to look for that opportunity now. Now that we're back to this sort of neutral state, we can go back to talking about your unneutral opinion about this Azir, right?
Well,
the Azir,
considering that Azir is 57 CS to 75, I feel validated.
Yeah, it's
validated, vindicated, all the words for I was right.
They are looking for an invade on top side right now. Irelia putting some damage in, but the stun does not find the mark. With some decent damage going into one.
Oh, do they have the ultimate?
Looking to set up. World Ender is here,
Huge.
but there's a ton of CC locking him down. Mei puts down the Nocturne, and it looks like the bot lane has come. The bot lane is looking to put down another Mei. Almost going to fall down, but the criminal escape is here again. Floops picks up one. Gilborn falls, and Mei follows. It is a shutdown right there. Good going to the pockets of the Corki.
All right, they're going to teleport Orianna to the bot lane, I hope. Make sure that they can defend this. That is just one plate going over, not two. As Azir not doing that much turret damage. And a huge teamfight victory. It does cost them a lot of flashes, but they get it done. And they're picking up the grubs. That was a very much needed win for the side of True Minded here. Can they pick up the grubs? They're going to get a plate on top as well, it seems. Looks like Sir Raven's really trying to zone for those minions to get the plate.
Yeah, it is. They're looking for those plates, but it looks like the Nocturne will secure those grubs for himself. Now Aatrox is going to have to reset because of the risk of possibly falling down. Mei though, looking to not risk anything and put some more damage into Floops. Floops trying to back away. Looks trade to back in? No, not too crazy though. There's not too much damage to trade back into this Irelia. And I mean, it's a constant threat, this Irelia. What do you do in the situation as the Orianna?
Well, the Orianna is in a tough spot because winning 1v1, you can't really poke when the Irelia has no fear. Just will just jump straight on you. And so that's when the matchup gets really tough. Really Irelia favored here. Nice little trade from Sir Raven. As they are going to keep pushing that wave. And it looks like crushing rock. Okay, I was worried a Maokai engage was coming through, to be honest.
Looks like Aatrox is not upset about, this bad matchup, in quotes. Trading into this Darius decently.
Oh, are you flaming me?
What? I'm not flaming you. No, I'm just saying he's not upset about this at all. We might be upset about the damage going into us. We get a stun out onto the Alistar, but is it going to be enough? No, Shaden's going to go down. Crushing Rock takes him
the
down.
TP?
But the TP's down. May's looking for one. May will find Crushing Rock, but will we be able to put him down? Not
Oh, the
yet.
pull!
But the pull is massive right there. We take down Crushing Rock, we take down Nocturne, and we're on the hunt for the Alistar. But we're going to give it up and go for Drake.
Yeah, Crushing Rock was really the single hope for True Money Gaming there, and just gets pulled to their oblivion. Plate can be picked up for Sir Raven. Might get another one here, and that's going to be popping right over. And it looked like it was going to be a decent fight, but the double TP to really send the message over to True Money Gaming, you will not win an objective on this map. Picks up the dragon on the back end, and they get a nice shutdown as well. That grab, I didn't even see that play as a possibility.
No, I didn't even know Darius showed up. I'm going to be honest. He just kind of appeared on the thing right there. But it's some good damage from Sir Raven right there. But Azir's not looking to, just take it lightly. He's going to return some good damage back. Now, this is the lane you wanted to see more than the bot lane right there. It is a...
Yeah.
Looks like there's going to be a fight, though. Nocturne looking for one, but the Maokai's there to, cover the option. And
they're just really desperate for plays on the side of True Minded Gaming. And
Yeah.
that is such an overforce. And they really need to be cool, calm, and collected, and make nice coordinated wins on the map, and not waste their ultimates for, just like the inkling of a play, the waft of a play. Something more solid.
Yeah, they're trying really hard to just make something happen when it's just not, You can't make something out of nothing every single time. And it's just not worth the force. But you see now up top side, there is trying to be a force. Nocturne ultimate is not up, but they're looking to put down this Azir. Azir is able to walk away a bit. The route out from the Maokai is good. The slowdown,
route.
it is not enough to stop the Azir from getting away, but the knockback is good to knock him into the tower. And there's some good damage on a Jim here, and Jim going sent back. Maybe you got to go to the gym, strike it up for all this damage coming your way. Double kill going to the Jax right now, and we're looking for the Alistar next. Alistar gonna get the stun off on somebody. No, he won't even need it. He has to flash away.
I wasn't paying attention to where Alistar was on the map. Usually you kind of just default assume hanging around Corki, but nowhere to be seen until the end of that play. And unfortunate as it was, because Alistar was needed for some very important zone here. Maybe going for another kill on Floops.
Is he gonna get it? There's
Does
a
want
stun
to stun.
out, but the W isn't enough. The dash will be enough, but May's gonna fall right after. No, the tower isn't enough to kill him just yet. But Nocturne's on the chase. Jim does not have the ultimate, but the smite is decent. Will we get the kill? We finally do. Shut down onto May right there. Good pickup for Jim.
Yeah, that is going to be a pickup for this Nocturne. Needs to get that first item here. Top side, Rift Herald is spawning soon, so Raven just hold it on the bot side. Mid lane, with the TP not being available for May, this could be a Rift Herald in the hands of TMG if they play their cards right.
Yeah, I do think that right now, you still have to play this. We see Azir pathing up top side, by the way. I believe he dashed over the wall, and now is getting knocked up and CC'd by this Alistar. But the Alistar is the one in danger now, because the root is there, the knockback is there too, and the Azir stab, poke, poke, poke. We poke the bull, and we take him down.
I mean, what for a zoning play that then turned into a full-on engage, and there was no Corki? It just looked like they weren't on the same page there. It looked like two different minds, unsynchronized. And that might just be the Rift Herald, which I was kind of hoping for TMG to pick up.
Yeah, me too, but it looks like we're trying to pick up another kill right here. We got the Vanguard's edge popped, but it looks like you're the one who's on the edge, and you're on the edge of a grave right there, and kicked right into it by Floops.
Well, I mean, May gave Floops the layup there. Didn't have to turret dive. There was really no reason. May have mistimed the ultimate, because as soon as that ultimate went through the shockwave, May kind of lost the plan, and then ended up giving over a kill. So, again, Rift Herald, I don't know who's getting this Rift Herald now.
I mean, we'll see right now, but it looks like we're not looking for anything. We can't see anything. We're running away. I don't know what's going on right now. Gilborn is saying that right there as he falls to the Nocturne coming the bot side. But it looks like we're looking for a fight on this top side again. Alistar gets a good push away, but is it going to be enough? The knockup is there. But do we have enough to slow them
Ultimate
down?
is
This
popped.
Corki damage is going to dissuade a little bit, but not enough. The root is good. Morn will shut him down.
Oh, it's
it looks
live.
like we're on the chase, but we get the push in and the push out. Corki falls. Floops is here, though. Can Floops put one down? He does put down the Azir, but it's not going to be enough to save him. Triple kill going to Morn.
Be able to make that play with numbers, and yeah, didn't have the shockwave. If Floops had the shockwave, that probably would have been a different story. And it looks like now the Rift Herald eventually gonna fall into the hands of Summit. They're gonna knock that one down, get a top turret to boot as well, and it's looking like this is gonna be a repeat of game number 1. Summit now with the Rift Herald. They also have an early dragon, and TMG, this is where the game's going to get really tough because this gold lead's going to get bigger, and they're going to have to find a way to team fight to victory.
Yeah, this game has kind of been ripped out of the hands of TMG, and they still were trying to get active. Like, right there, I really like the fact that they went towards that bot side and got the pick. But then they got throttled in top side, which is brutal. I wish there was another way for me to put that.
You can't make a play on both opposite sides of the map, right? So when you make a play on one, when you have a numbers advantage on one, you have to play defensive on the other.
It wasn't even they were getting they were trying to make a play. It was just they just Alistair got caught because he was too far up, and that's just he's got to play it a bit more safely there. But it looks like we're not playing it safe. We're trying to play it blind. It's huge. We take down the Azir, but is it going to be enough? We got the Azir, and now we're setting up for this dragon. But look at top
pushing
side.
Up top side, no TP. Yeah. Nocturne blocks TPs, so wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. But they're going to be giving up a tier 2 turret. The Raven does not get to channel, so this is more pushing time. They pick up the dragon. It is going to come at the cost. TP now going to go through. Can they make a defense in the mid lane? Because they've lost 2 turrets for first dragon, by the way. Not a good trade.
Yeah, no. And then we get the Rift Herald to slam into this turret in
3
the mid
turrets
lane.
would be a travesty.
Yeah, this would be a travesty. We got to prevent the travesty from happening, but I don't think we'll be able to. The stun is gigantic, and the roots will lock them down. We put them in the cage. Jim, first to fall, and we're looking to make this even worse of a nightmare for them. And we take down the Corki. Crushing Rock gets crushed. We put up a turret for ourselves as we walk away.
Where is the coordination? They should have waited for Orianna. They just keep throwing plays at the wall, and sometimes they're hitting, and a lot of times they are missing. And it looks like a flash being blown by Floops now as well. And I mean, even if they pick up the skill,
at least
it doesn't really matter.
I'm trying to look at the bright side here.
Oh, I think you already used the leap strike, so yeah, that's not going to land. Kind of save the abilities a little bit. There you go, shockwave.
Ooh. Morn? Okay, I thought maybe that it was going to be turned around. Morn is godlike now. That's
yeah, definitely not.
Listen, I've got high hopes. Okay, listen, just because the Jax absolutely flattens the Orianna there, just I maybe in some mystical world that I'm thinking about there, the Orianna turns it around.
Well, that might be the last of the hopes of true-minded gaming being dashed in this second game, 19 minutes in. Oh, we get to see a replay. Well, we can see it all happen again here. Turret crashes, and they are going to defend it here. And, like, Floops is playing on the flank. Not what you want right now as this Orianna. You really just want to send it team fight front to back. And it's just, they don't want to fight from multiple angles. There's no reason for them to fight from multiple angles. They want to make sure that their backline is able to free fire as another kill going to be dropping. But, yeah, a misunderstanding of how their team comp wants to play.
Yeah, I think it is just a bit of a blunder here. I don't know if it was just oh no, we're speaking of blunders right now, and this is going to be a blunder for all time right now. It looks like there is a bit of an engage, though. The nearsightedness is going to be able to save the Orianna forward now. Okay. Shut down on the Jax's big money into Floops' pockets. We're looking to slow down Shaden. Hoping we can catch up to him. It is a bit of an assist from the Atacon, though. We get the root, but we get the knock-up in return. Shaden pushes 2 away, but it's not enough. We get another one into the pockets of Corki. No, Jim takes that one. In the meantime, bot turret taken, and Darius is on the way up top side. Looking for the TP, and so is Maymay. Maymay, though, they know he's here. Can we stop him in time? Azir's on the side, though. We pop out one. We take down Crushing Rock. And who else can we crush here? We kick away the Orianna. Is it going to be enough, though? Azir's on the chase. Can we catch up to this? Alistair, we will not. Man, that looks so good, and it just keeps falling apart for him.
Yeah, this one's chaotic here. They're going to try to chase down Mei. Flash being used as well. Can Mei escape? Otherwise, that flash will be for naught. Looks like that's going to be the case. Otacon. Okay, starting this up from the side of Summon, it's kind of crazy. But they're going to go for it. I think this is a very unnecessary force play.
Yeah, I do think it's a bit of a ambitious play for sure. You're trying too hard to make something out of nothing, but now looks like something's being made. TMG looking to put down this Atacon, but again, you're fighting in this pit and you're taking a lot of damage back and forth. And it's
they're getting surrounded here.
They are getting collapsed.
I mean, Floops is not zoning with the ball at all. They're just trying to get the shockwave combo. Here it is.
Nocturne's in. We're gonna try to make this a nightmare for Summit now. We're summoning it in. And now we're going in even deeper, but we shut down one. We take down this Orianna, and it's big. We push 2 away, and the Azir putting in some damage. Right now, we get the thumbs up from the Jax, as Jax is likely going to kill even more. We put down 2, more double kill. Turn around, we're looking for the triple kill, but we won't be able to catch up to the Aatrox. Dash away. No, we hop to the ward. Morn looking to Morn one more as we look to shut him down. We're on the chase. Can we take him down? We finally catch up, but it's not enough. He's still on the run.
Yeah, this is... Whoa, not in range. Okay, so Riven gets out of there. All right. The Otacon fight, that was a bit hectic. I'm sure that was a lot to go over there, but in the end, it is Summit rising to the top yet again. Maybe going to use ultimate just to disengage. Dragon coming up, 3rd one of the game. And it looks like it's going to go into the hands of Summit. They have better map control right now.
Yeah, right now you've got this just situation where you could see that Summit is just, just going. It's kind of just stepping on the gas and not letting off. And while TMG is trying to make stuff happen, it's just like a repeat of game 1. They just keep falling short, and this is not, speaking of short, Corky's pretty short, but, we don't want his life to fall short just yet. Looks like Guildborn's life is falling short, though. There's too much damage going his way. That heal is gigantic, but it's not enough. Guildborn falls.
They don't really get the mid-prio. Don't have the right members. Mei now backing. I think was trying to go for an item. Ends up being late to the play. 4v5. No TP, so Guildborn cannot be at this dragon. Do they go for it?
They're kind of dancing, though. The dragon is pulled by Summit right now. Or not Summit, by TMG. They do grab it. It looks like the engage is in. Nocturne's in, making them all go blind. Can we take them down 1? We do get the pick onto Mei, and we're looking to chase him down even more. And the Maokai is the next target, but can we catch up? Double knockup is big, but is it going to be enough? Do we have the damage? Jim has taken so much damage, and it looks like that's going to be it.
Oh, they're on the run.
I mean, Jax wants
away.
it, but
just didn't have enough follow-up on the engage from Crescents. But now they do get that dragon. They do get a pick. Honestly, not a bad play. They're still in a huge, they're still a huge gold lead for Summit here. So they're nowhere out of the park just yet. Still have a lot to do in this game if they want to hang in there. They've lost basically all their tier 2s. They don't have an easy way to get map control. As you can see, they have to push out all these lanes, and they are not winning in these 1v1s. Morn on a massive kill streak yet again. And now, I mean, we're almost getting a 3rd item Azir, which is absolutely crazy here in this game. So, again, uphill battle. Going to be rough. But, I mean, there is a glimmer of hope for the side of True Minded game.
Yeah, they're still... I mean, True Minded clearly sees that Summit wants to fight all the time, every time, and True Minded can just kind of play around that. You see, like, how they're just so eager. Especially Morn just seems so eager to just go. Right now, Sir Raven, though, seems eager to go, and it looks like he's going a bit too far. Maybe not, though. The Nocturne's in, putting some good damage into this Darius, but this Darius is returning it even more, healing up some more, but he will fall down. Finally falls, but Morn picks up 1 in return. There's a good Maokai ultimate, but Floops falls right after. We mentioned the shockwave, but there's only no shock in that he falls down, but we get the push back, knock back 2, we pop him down. Aatrox trying to live. It's the world ends for them as this Irelia pushes bot side. TP coming in this game might be ending soon.
That was a 4v5. Meme was not there at all. Just complete 4v5 victory. Great ultimate at the end from Nanto, and yeah, that's a win. If you lose the 5v4 and they're split pushing, you're gonna lose the game, and that is the case. That's a wrap. As we have Summit coming in, Summit Esports Wawas with a 2-0 commanding lead in both games, picking it up back to back, making it look easy.
I mean, right there, this is a game. If you're TMG, you're looking back at this and you're saying, we could have won this game, but we got to clean it up. Like, we gotta call we gotta call in a specialist and we gotta clean it up. Like, this was a mess. Because clearly, like, we saw, the fight back was there, right? They weren't, like, completely outmatched by Summit here. Summit just played a cleaner game. And I just feel like that's just what it was.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot cleaner plays. They were not really overforcing as much, and that made a huge difference in these games as they picked up the win. Of course, shout out to Meme, just, always going for that skill check, coming out on top as well, and Morin just playing back-to-back great games. So, have to say, they looked really solid.
Yeah, it is man, it's just I gotta give credit where credit's due. We just played a much cleaner game if we're on Summit. It just looked way better. And you're in the situation where if you are TMG, you're just it's a feels bad loss because you could have won this game if you just played better. Right? I know that sounds like kind of toxic, but that's not how it's intended, right? They played a cleaner game. And that watching that back, you guys are good enough at the game to watch that back and know that we got to clean it up. We got to go, either we're scrimming or these next sets, we got to get cleaner. We got to get better. We got to come back. We got to turn this around. But at Summit, keep doing you. You're clean. You're effective. Meme's killing it. We're killing it in the bot lane. We're killing it in the jungle. It's going well for us. But as for killing it, I feel like we killed it here on the cast. We killed it here on production. Titan, we have been, this time around, the Immortal League. I'm Not a Valve Game, joined by Crims and the lovely production members. Hope you have a great night. Join us again tomorrow for another cast. And before you go, we do have a little bit of an interesting take for you. Some clean-looking, fresh clothes for you right here. The summer merch sale is up now. You hop on, you see the link on screen right here, and I've looked at some of the stuff myself, and may or may not have made a couple purchases. It's some pretty clean stuff. So go check it out. Get yourself some Titan apparel. Now, thank you for joining us, and maybe click that link real quick. Have a great night.